Hello student, welcome you all for the class of MBA Semester 3 Human Relations and Legal Framework. Today is our lecture number 34 and the topic of our today's discussion is the Factories Act 1948. So the primary objective of our today's session is help to understand the important features of Factories Act 1948 and what are the provisions made under this act. So, the contents of our today's session are Introduction to the Factories Act 1948, Object and Scope of the Factory Act 1948, Scheme of the Factory Act 1948, Health, Safety and Welfare Measures under the Factories Act 1948. So, first of all, we will see the health measure for the workers from section 11 to section 20. Thereafter, safety measures for workers from section 21 to 41. There is one special provision relating to the hazardous processes in the factories, and that is called as section 41 section 41A to 41H. The next is welfare measures for the workers from section 42 to 50. There are some other special provisions under the Factories Act 1948 relating to the working hours of adult from section 51 to 66, employment of young persons section 67 to 77, annual leave with wages section 78 to 84. There are some other special provisions section 85 to 91A, and lastly the penalties and procedure from section 92 to 91. So let us have some brief discussion on this Factories Act 1948. Actually, this Factories Act 1948 is one of the very important act in Indian legislations, okay, that will be helpful to maintain the rules and regulations in the factories that are being governing with the labor. So whatever the form of practices which are being implemented with respect to rules and regulations, particularly governing the Indian factories, so that are being covered under this act. So this act has been enacted on 23rd September 1948. So primarily this act deals with the health, safety and welfare measures of the workers working in the factories, okay, particularly the Indian factories. Okay, this act will also lays down some sort of guidelines, particularly for the employers as well as called as the occupiers. Okay, so on the working conditions in factories, including some leaves, working hours and holidays. So when we are talking about this Factories Act 1948, so to regulate the rules and regulations among the Indian factories, so this act will primarily provide three important measures. The first one is called as health measures, okay, issues which are relating with the cleanliness, ventilation, lighting, drinking water, latrines, urinals, etc. are highlighted, okay, here under this act. This will also include some safety measures including fencing of machineries, lifting, casing of machineries, employment of young workers with dangerous machines, etc. It also deals with some different forms of welfare measures to promote the welfare for the workers. Okay, say for example, washing facilities, facilities for sitting, okay, first aid facilities, etc. could be made available among the Indian factories. While talking about the introductory part of this Factories Act 1948, okay, this act will also give some sort of guidelines specifically on hazardous and chemical substances, okay, permissible under the work environment. So there are some particular items which are being permitted at certain level of acceptance. So these are called as hazardous or chemical substances, okay, that should be permitted. This will provide the framework for working hours of adult workers, weekly works, holidays, night shift, overtime wages. Okay, so this will also provide some sort of guidelines, specifically how much would be the working hours of adult workers, child workers, their weekly works or holidays or night shift or overtime wages. Okay, how much it should be provided. This will provided also some sort of provisions for adult workers, that they should not work more than 48 hours in a week, and should get one full day holidays in a week. So there are some provisions, okay, that could be made for adult workers, women workers, as well as some young workers called as children workers. So lots of provisions has been made under this act. The primary objective of this act to provide the adequate safety measures and to promote the health and welfare of the workers employed in the factories, providing some adequate compensation and protection to the affected persons. So this law, these legislations, okay, this will provide a framework by means of giving some sort of safety measures to the workers and promoting the health and well-being of the masses, or that is called as working class, by means of giving some appropriate compensation and protection to the affected persons, those who are working in these factories. So this act can be extending to the whole of India from 1st April 1949 and applies to all the factories, mines, plantation, construction, or mechanically propelled vehicles, or in some hazardous occupations. So this law has been applicable almost in all types of factories, particularly in India. This law could be also applicable to all the factories using power and employing 10 or more workers. Okay, so the primary condition for application of this Factories Act 1948, so all factories those are using power and employing 10 or more workers, so wherever Factories Act could be applicable. If not using power, so any kind of industry or factory employing 20 or more workers on any day of the preceding 12 months, so wherever the Factories Act can be applicable. This act is not directly applicable, okay, in certain kind of industries or factories, that will be called as mines, okay, mobile unit belonging to the armed forces of union, railway running shed, or hotel, restaurant, or eating places. So this act could not be applicable in certain kind of industries. Scheme and administration of the Factory Act 1948. If you want to study the Factory Act 1948, okay, the total act has been divided into 120 section and in 3 schedule. Okay, so in this 3 schedule, okay, we will see schedule 1, schedule 2, and schedule 3. The schedule 1 will containing the list of industries involving the hazardous processes. So there are different forms of industries that are being listed under this schedule 1. So where there will be a hazardous processes, that has been mentioned in this schedule 1. In schedule 2, about permissible level of certain chemical substances in the work environment, so that has been mentioned in this schedule 2. And in schedule 3, consisting of list of noticeable diseases, okay, due to which the health and welfare of health of the workers could be get affected. So under these 3 schedules, the whole act has been divided in 120 sections. Now when we are talking about the implementation of this act by means of using the appropriate administration, so both central and state government, already the appropriate government means central government, they were give the powers to the state government and their respected agencies to implement these laws, okay, the rules and regulations which are covered in this Factories Act 1948 for its administration. So there are total 4 bodies which are being covered. Okay, the first one is called as inspector, that is called as an inspecting staff. The roles, responsibilities, duties, okay, of that inspecting staff has been defined by the government, and these are being regulating the rules and regulations and implementing these rules and regulations in the Indian factories. Then according to section 10 there will be the certifying officer. Okay, those are generally called as certifying surgeons. Now these surgeons are nothing but the medical officers, those who can examine the health of the workers, and that should be primarily implemented almost in all factories wherever the Factories Act can be applicable according to section 10. By means of using this act, okay, Factories Act 1948, section 49, according to section 49, welfare officer will be compulsorily recruited in almost all type of factories. Okay, that the role of the welfare workers to look after the overall health and well-being of these workers and promote the welfare of the workers. Simultaneously, all these industries, they should have to recruit the safety officers. Okay, because of what there could not be any kind of accidents or hazard that could not be happen in these factories. So according to section 49b, so these four authorities, okay, say for example inspector, certifying surgeon, welfare officers and safety officers are compulsorily made to be available in the factories for the implementation and administration of this act. When we are talking about what are the different measures which are being covered under this Act 1948, so there are several chapters has been there. In chapter 3, 4 and 5, okay, there are different forms of measures which are being covered, and which, by means of which we are promoting the health and well-being of the masses. The first one is called as health measures for the workers, okay, that are covered in chapter 3. Safety measures, okay, for the workers are covered in chapter 4, and welfare measures for workers that are covered in chapter 5. So let us discuss this one by one. What are the different measures which are being covered in different chapters? So we were listed only these various measures. Okay, we just have to go in some sufficient detail while studying this Factory Act 1948. The first one is called as the health measures for the workers, okay, which are listed in chapter 3 of the Factories Act 1948. So from section 11 to section 20, see, section 11 to section 20, there are several measures has been there, okay, that are being implemented for the promotion of promotion of health of the workers. So appropriate cleanliness can be maintained in all the type of factories which are being covered. Disposal of waste and effluents would be covered in section 12. Appropriate ventilation or proper ventilation and temperature has been maintained in the factory premises or that particular plant. Dust and fumes, management of the dust and fumes can be managed in the factories according to section 14. Artificial humidification, so that proper air circulation could be necessary in the factories which are being covered in the section 15. Overcrowding could not be there, okay, how many number of persons that can be work on that particular machine, that has been specified under the section 16, and how much space could be made available for the motion of the workers. Appropriate lighting, some sufficient forms of lighting so that some light would come in the factories, particularly the natural light as well as some artificial light. Okay, drinking uh, water would be there, that is not a waste. Okay, drinking water facilities could be made available over there according to section 18. Latrines and urinals could be made available according to section 19. And spittoons, okay, that the spittoon should be also made available in the near premises wherever some sort of utensils could be available for particular uses. So these are the various forms of health measures which are being covered in the Factories Act 1948 from section 11 to section 20. Now these are called as safety measures. Okay, so there are various forms of safety measures which are being covered in this Factory Act 1948, that is called as from section 21 to 41 C, from section 21 to section 41. So number of measures which has been taken to maintain the safety of the workers. Fencing of machinery, so it is quite necessary to repair the machinery from time to time, okay, and replacement of parts of the machinery in section 21. Work on or near the machinery in motion, so whenever the any kind of machinery would be in motion, how to perform the work on that particular machines, which are covered in section 22. Employment of young persons on dangerous machine, okay. None of the young persons could be employed on the dangerous machine, so some regulations have been made there in section 23. Okay, striking gears and devices for cutting off power, okay. So whenever the power goes, okay, so how to work on some particular forms of machines, okay, which will have some sharp edges, due to which any kind of accident could be happen whenever the loss of power would be there, okay, that has been covered in section 24. Self acting machines means these are called as the automatic machines, okay. Casing of new machineries, so appropriate casing, okay, particularly in the form of that is called as taken care, okay, and as well as the maintenance, okay, in case of machineries could be there, in that has been covered in section 26. Prohibition of employment of women and children near cotton openers, so in certain factories, say for example cotton manufacturing units, so prohibition of employment of women and children workers, okay, as particularly they are wearing some sort of cloths, okay, they could not be allowed it over there, particularly near to the cotton openers. Hoses and lifts, okay, workers, which particular type of workers that can be permitted, okay, those are working nearby the hoses and lifts over there, or that is called as elevators, okay. Here there may be chances of accidents over here. Lifting machines, chains, ropes and lifting tackles over there, some particular forms of machines, okay, that will require some sort of lifting activities, so which particular workers can be permitted and what are the provisions and covered under this section 29. Revolving machinery, machinery those who are in motion and particularly those are being uh, revolving in nature, okay, that can be circulated from one place to another place, so that could be covered in section 30. Pressure plants would be there, okay, particularly that are called as bhattis, okay, wherever some sort of chemical processes or some fireworks would be goes in that particular plant, okay. Floors, stairs and means of access has been covered in section 32. Pits, sumps, openers in the floors, okay, section 33. Excessive weight, okay, how much weight can be allowed in covered in section 34. Protection of eyes, so that are being covered in section 35. Precautions against the dangerous fumes and gases, for which some sufficient uh, safety measures are need to be provided. Precautions regarding the use of portable electric lights, okay, some sort of provisions have been made over here. Explosive and inflammable dust gas, okay, there will be chances of accidents over there, so how to handle that explosives would be there, that could be mentioned in section 37. Precautions in case of fire, so preliminary measures and what will be the other important measures, safety measures that could be taken off. Power to require the specification of defective parts or test of stability, okay, which are being covered in the section 39, okay. So it is quite necessary to make the replacement of the defective parts as early as possible of, okay, so that the machinery could work efficiently. Safety of buildings and machineries, okay, which are being covered in section 40. Maintenance of building, section 40A. Safety officer, which is one of the very essential criteria to implement in the factories, and what are their roles, responsibilities and duties of that safety officers, which are covered in section 40B. power to make rules. Okay, so section 41 will deals with, okay, power to make rules. Particularly the factory will decide and how to implement that rules. So this can be made available in section 41. So these all are called as safety measures for the workers, okay, from section 21 to section 41. Now these are called as the provisions relating to some hazardous processes which are covered in section 41. So from 41A to 41H. So appropriate amendment, okay, has been made from 1987 under this Factories Act 1948, okay, and which have been covered in chapter 4, and that lays down the provisions relating to the hazardous processes in the factories. Actually, what does it mean by hazardous processes? Okay, processes, any kind of processes, okay, or activity in relation to the industry specified in the first schedule, where unless special care is taken, raw material used therein or intermediate or finished product, byproduct, waste or effluents thereof would cause material impairment to the health of the person engaged or connected therewith, or result in pollution of the general environment. So these are called as hazardous processes, particularly that can cause to the health and well-being of the masses. Okay, say for example pollution would be there, okay, due to which the health of the workers could be get affected. Even some sort of effluents, okay, or waste or byproducts would be there, okay, that may cause to the health of the workers, and due to which the worker could become ill, and in that case one cannot play with the health of the workers. So these hazardous processes has been mentioned in section 41A to section 41H. Now the next one is called as welfare measure for the workers, okay, for the promotion of health and well-being of the masses. The chapter 5 deals with the Factories Act 1948 from section 41 to section 50. See, section 42 to section 50. So various types of provisions has been made under the Factories Act 1948, okay, to promote the health and well-being of the masses. The primary health and well-being measures, okay, particularly called as welfare measures. So this is called as washing facilities in section 42. Facilities for storing and drying of clothes, okay, so some sufficient form of provisions could be made available in the factory for storing and drying of clothes. Facilities for sitting, some sitting arrangement would be there. First aid appliances should be made available to the nearby that particular machines or in that particular plant, okay. Canteens is quite necessary, okay, and that has been covered in section 47. Some sufficient amount of food has been provided under these canteens. The requirement of shelters, restrooms and lunchrooms has been covered in section 47. Some minimum requirement of these shelter, restrooms and lunchrooms has been provided in section 47. Creches, particularly these are called as the smaller room, particularly for the playing of smaller children, okay, workers, those who are having the smaller children with them. So they can there would be some sort of nursery would be there that are covered in this section 48, okay. Welfare officers would be there, okay, that should be compulsorily implemented according to this Factories Act 1948 under the section 49, so that they will take care of the health and well-being of the masses. Power to make rules, even the individual factories, those that have the right to make some modifications in the existing rules using some section 50. Now these are generally called as the some important provisions which are being related with the hours of work, or that is called as working hours. Now these working hours can be applicable to adult workers, women workers and also the children workers, that are called as young workers. So weekly hours, how much weekly hours can be made applicable to that particular worker covered in section 51. How much weekly holidays will be there, okay, in covered in section 52. Compensatory holidays, okay, some sort of compensatory leaves could be made available according to section 53. Daily hours, okay, total daily hours for work that could be made available in section 54. Interval for rest, okay, during the period of time, okay, it is quite necessary to have some sort of rest to the workers, that are also how much interval has been given to that particular worker, so that they can work appropriately on that particular machine. Okay, spread over, how does the overall space has been managed. Night shift would be there. If the workers are working in the night shift, so which workers are being permissible, which are not permissible according to section 57, which are being covered. Particularly women workers and children workers are not permitted in the night shift. Prohibition of overlapping shifts over there. We try to avoid some overlapping shifts in the factories. Extra wages for overtime would be provided according to section 59. Restrictions on double employment, so no worker could get employed in the double employment, okay, and there is a restriction on that, because of what, there may be possibility of accidents or hazard if the workers are employed in double or triple employment. Notice of period of work for adults, so how much time has been allocated to them, that has been mentioned in the notices. Register of adult workers, okay, some different forms of registers and maintenance of records can be made, particularly for adult workers in section 62. Hours of work to be correspond with the notice under section 61 and registered under section 62, okay, that are being covered in section 63. So 61 and 62, okay, so and other than that which has been covered in section 63. Power to make the exemption of rules, okay, even the individual factory that they will decide, okay, which particular forms of rules can be exempted, or power to make the exempting orders, okay. Here the individual factories, those are those who can be empowered using section 65 to make some new important rules for the implementation of these rules and regulations for the factories. Further restrictions on employment of women, okay, there are some particular restrictions which are being covered in section 66. Now these are called as employment of young persons, okay, as well as children over there, okay, which are being covered from section 67 to section 77. So this is the first one is called as prohibition of employment for young children, which are covered in the section 67. So none of the young children, okay, or infants who can be allowed at the factory premises. Non-adult workers to carry the tokens, okay. So any sort of non-adult workers, or particularly smaller children or younger ones, okay, they could not be allowed in the factory premises. Certificate of fitness, okay, workers those who are above the 14 years of age, okay, they need to produce the certificate of fitness, particularly after the illness, or even that could be made also applicable to the adult workers as well as women workers, particularly after any kind of disease or pregnancies. Effect of certificate of fitness guaranteed to the adolescents, okay, if adolescents are employed in the factory, thus the certificate of fitness could be effective, okay, or not, which are being covered in section 70. Working hours for children, okay, which are covered in section 71 if the children are employed, particularly by means of that, okay, none of the children can be employed in the factories act, okay. If particularly wherever it has been employed, say for example industries which are not using any sort of power, in that case it is employed small, medium, or cottage industries. Notice of period of work for children, okay. Register of child workers, if any child workers has been employed in their factories, okay, or small and cottage industries, okay, so their register could be maintained. Hours of work correspond to the notice under section 72 and registered under section 73, that is called as section 74. So under section 72 and 73, okay, which has been not been covered related to the hours of work which are mentioned in section 74. Power to require any sort of medical examinations, okay, that could be made available under the section 75. Power to make rules. Okay, factories has the right to make some new modifications in the existing rules. Certain other provisions of law which are not barred. Okay, there are certain provisions, okay, which could not be directly applied, okay, but which could be, the management could think over here whether they need to implement over there or not. So according to section 77, they can make some changes in the existing rules. Now these are another forms of special provisions, okay, that is called as annual leave with wages, okay, from section 78 to section 70 section 84. So the first one we'll cover, that is called as application of the chapter, that is called as section 78. So that gives some brief guidelines about that annual leaves. Annual leave with wages. So how much annual leaves will be covered in section 79, which will be covered in section 79. The point has been repeated. Payment in advance in certain cases, say for example, if suppose advances has been given to the employees, so that which are being covered in section 81. Mode of recovery of the unpaid wages. If any sort of unpaid wages has been there, how does it can be recovered from the factory owner, occupier, or any employer, which are being covered in section 82. Power to make rules, section 83. Power to exempt the factories, which particular form of factories can be exempted, so from in case of that annual leaves, so which has been covered in section 84. Now these are called as some special provisions, okay, and these special provisions are being covered from section 85 to 91A. So that is called as power to apply the act to certain premises. There are certain industries, okay, wherever the act could be applicable or it could not be applicable, and or in which factory premises it could be applicable. In section 85 it has been mentioned. Power to exempt the public institutions. Okay, public institutions are exempted from the Factories Act 1948. Dangerous operations, wherever any sort of machinery, okay, that deals with some dangerous operations, okay, which are being covered in section 87. Power to prohibit the employment or account of serious hazards. So any sort of employment that employ any sort of work, okay, that will deals with some serious and hazardous work would be there, that has been mentioned in section 87A. Notice of certain accidents, okay, which are being also mentioned in section 88. Notice of certain dangerous occurrences, so particularly how to work on that particular machine and how to handle that material on that particular machine, so that has been also covered in section 88A. Notice of in case of certain sort of diseases, and periodically checkup, medical checkup of the workers can be conducted at regular intervals according to section 89. Power to direct inquiry into cases of accidents or diseases, so that has been covered in section 90. So here the medical officers would be there, or factory inspector, they can inspect the factory premises. Power to take the samples, so it is quite necessary to investigate the issues which are being related with the any sort of accidents, or maybe some sort of diseases, okay, that could be happen due to pollution or dust and fumes in the factory premises, or whether there is no proper ventilation or air circulation, so that could be taken, samples could be taken, okay, according to this section 91. Safety and occupational health survey, so regular safety and occupational health surveys can be conducted, okay, by the medical officers as well as safety officers, or the welfare officers. Even the factory inspector, they will visit to the factory premises and they can conduct these safety and occupational health surveys. So according to section 91, such kind of surveys are being common in all the factory premises. Now these are called as the penalties, okay, which are being covered under section 92 to 99. So there are lots of provisions have been made and that could be considered as a form of offense under the Factories Act 1948. So section 92 deals with general penalty for offenses. so that would cover the imprisonment maximum up to 2 years, or fine, or 1 lakh rupees, or both. So the fine can be extended up to 1 lakh rupees. In section 94, enhanced penalty for previous convictions. If the any sort of employer, those are being repeatedly conducting the offences, in that case there would be the imprisonment which can be extended up to 3 years with a fine not less than 10,000 rupees, but which may be extended up to 2 lakh rupees, or both. Even according to section 95, penalties for obstructing the inspector. Whenever the inspectors are being coming at the factory premises, if any employer or occupier, okay, those who are being obstructing them and taking some action on the inspector and do not allowing them to conduct any sort of inspection, in that case, okay, there will be an imprisonment for the term which may be extended up to 6 months, or fine which may be extended up to rupees 10,000, or both. So both imprisonment of 6 months and fine of rupees 10,000 can be applicable on the employer, those who are being obstructing the inspector. Even in section 96, penalty for wrongfully disclosing the result of analysis under section 91. Okay, if any of the employer, those who are being not disclosing their information relating to the labor, okay, according to that section 91, okay, so there may be that could be also considered as a offense over there, and there would likely to be an imprisonment for the term which may be extended up to 6 months with fine, and can be extended up to rupees 10,000, or both. So there are lots of provisions has been there even in case of penalties also. In case of section 96A, so these penalties are being covered with the contravention for provision of section 41B, 41C and 41H. If you remember that 41B, 41C and 41H has been related with the hazardous processes. Okay, so these are the serious type of offenses. Any sort of employer, those who are being conducting these offenses, so they will be also liable for imprisonment and the fine also. So let us see the first one, imprisonment for the term which may be extended up to 7 years, and a fine which can be charged up to 2 lakh rupees. Some sort of additional fine, okay, if there will be repeated offenses, so that fine can be extended up to 5,000 rupees, okay, for every day during which such failure or contravention continues. So 5,000 rupees per day fine can be charged. Imprisonment for the term which may be extended up to 10 years. So 10 years imprisonment can be made applicable, okay, particularly those industrial premises, those who are being not serious about the hazardous processes and not taking care of the health of the workers. Offenses by workers. If any of the workers, those who have been conducted any sort of indiscipline or offenses over there, fine can be extended up to 500 rupees. Penalty for using false certificate of fitness. If any of the workers, that those who have been used false certificate of fitness, okay, or any employer has, they will misuse the workers by producing the false certificate of fitness, in that case imprisonment for the term which may be extended up to 2 months with fine which may be extended to 1,000 rupees, or both, that could be applicable to that particular worker. Penalty for permitting double employment of child, okay, fine may be extended to 1,000 rupees, okay, according to section 19. Penalty for permitting the double employment of child. So any kind of factory premises, those who are being employing the adult worker and their child also, okay, in that case, okay, the fine can be extended up to rupees 1,000, unless it appears to the court that the child so work without the consent or convenience of such parent, guardian or person, okay. So this kind of provision can be made applicable, okay, to certain kind of adult workers. So they are employing the adult workers as well as their child. Okay, so it is quite necessary to prove that whether the child has been working in that factory premises without the knowledge of the that adult workers, or they are being permitted by their parent, child, guardian, or any other adult persons. Okay, those who are being relating to the factory premises. So in that case also some sort of fine can be applicable. Okay, and that can be extended up to rupees 1000. So these are all the penalties which are being covered under this act. So that's all about our today's session. Thank you very much.